All right, we need to have a conversation here, boys. I only say boys because mostly the only people that tune in are boys, but this is of benefit for girls, people. Anybody who tunes in, anyone who's smart, anyone who thinks independently, and anyone who likes their life, because we are beset by a problem. We are beset by this problem more so today than other times. So let me go through the email. I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. Hey, Cappy, this came up on MSN.com. Right, there's your first mistake. Okay. You know, guys, I don't watch the news anymore. I don't care. Because 99% of the news is a lie, or it's spun, or it's not the truth. It just is not the truth. But especially if you're going to go with MSN, which is just horrendously biased to the left. And I understand most journalism media outlets are biased to the left because people who pursue that profession are lazy. That's why journalists are always lazy. That's why they're poor. There's so many. They're just like teachers. For every position, there's like 5 of them out there with degrees. And, you're not really a serious adult or academic or intellectual or intellectually honest person. Well, I'm a major in journalism. At 17 years old, you're going to tell people what to think? Shove it up your ass. But MSN is particularly biased to the left. So I don't even know why I don't know why you're watching the news. I don't know why you're even paying attention to MSN. I mean, I don't pay attention to news. I don't pay attention to Fox because I've caught them a couple times spinning something to the right. It's almost like let's put it this way. All news is like the Daily Mail now. Okay. And the Daily Mail is a tabloid. When they publish their articles, it's for the most part a lie. There's only a seed of truth that they report, that they can then say, oh, it's the truth. Everything else is opinion, freedom of speech, or whatever they have in the United Kingdom, which they don't have anymore, by the way. But unless you're talking like the Wall Street Journal, and I don't even believe the Economist is unbiased anymore. I just look at data. I just use common sense because they're all going to lie to you. So before I even get to my point, let's end that right there. Let's not read mainstream MSN. And then let's also not pay attention to the news because it's all lies. Or at least when you're paying attention to the news, no, it's a lie. Okay? All right, let's move on to the main point. I just had to share it with you. It's so self-congratulatory, Cheryl, idiotic, and femtarded. I just thought I'd share this with you. Isn't she amazing, courageous, beautiful, inspirational, brave, and strong? And here's the article link. I'll put it in the chat room for you. The title is Megan Rapinoe's pink hair is back and better than ever. I'll send it. Here it is in the chat room. You guys can go ahead and look this up. Now I know this guy. I can't slam on him too much. But I emailed him. I said, dude, what in fuck's name are you reading MSN? And it links to Allure, which I guess at one time was a magazine. I think that was a magazine girls read when they were in middle school in my day. Now it's just a website. And I said, how are you wasting your time on this? You have to understand, pre-internet, media was not unlimited. There was a cost and an economic limit to how much media could be produced. Oh, you could produce flyers and papers and all that, but to have the network to deliver the paper to homes, to have that infrastructure, to have the printing presses, you had to deliver physical media. And to get economies to scale, you had to write some pretty good stuff. Playboy, believe it or not, did have good articles. It did have good writing. All right. And then you had to deliver this physical medium. There were transportation costs. You had editors. Right? Again, biased to the left because journalism, they're all going to save the world, right? Okay. You all watched that boomer movie where Dustin Hoffman and the other guy took down Nixon and all the boomers jerked off to themselves. All right. But there was, because there were economic costs that forced some quality and standards, especially the truth on a lot of, now tabloids could sell at the Hearst, and the British tabloids have been like that forever, but there was a market for real. The Economist was the epitomal example of about as accurate and true news as you could get. Then the internet comes along. And while there are server costs and hosting costs and electrical costs, It makes media free. And there's no hurdles anymore. Right? You want to go write for the New York Times? Well, 30 years ago, you better have had a hell of a nice resume and the ability to lie through your teeth. Just ask Paul Krugman. Now, they'll take anyone. That's if you could get them from not writing for BuzzFeed or Vice. Oops, they filed for bankruptcy or whatever. They get lay off people. Oh, then you go right over here. You go right over there. The new stuff. Ooh, I write for medium.com. Oh, you got Blogger. Now there's no entry cost. There's no barrier to entry. You could start. Do you guys remember Girl Boss? Girl Boss was like, it started out originally as a shitty girl fempowerment website. And what I remember reading about the article was a girl talking about girls, boss, strong, independent woman, don't need no man. And the article was how they needed a bailout for their student loans. So I went back. Now Girl Boss has been sold to a different company, but it's the same fempowerment. But now they're selling empowering seminars and marketing seminars and girl power bot. I mean, anybody, look at me. Holy shit. I'm an idiot. I don't know anything about journalism. All I know is how to be an economist, take data and charts and tell the truth with empirical data to back it up. All right. Even I, an idiot without a degree in journalism, my freaking website, captaincapitalism.blogspot.com, I have more readers than probably 90% of the news, blogs, and media and all that. Yeah, I don't have as much as CNN or Fox News or even, Condé Nast. They got a large multi-million-dollar corporation behind them. They throw money, Huffington Post, obviously. But there is not only shit out there when it comes to journalism. There is no journalism. It's just shit. It's just propaganda. It's just lies and spin. But there's an unlimited amount of shit. And already journalism didn't have a lot of value to it or integrity. Now with the internet, dude, Allure, I don't know. Have you guys ever read an article? I think maybe Allure was a physical magazine at one time that middle school girls read. Now here's an article about Megan Rapinoe's pink hair. By the way, this is not slamming on Megan Rapinoe. This is pointing out to you how pointless, how just because it's up on the internet and it has Huffington Post or New York Times or Allure or some brand name next to it doesn't mean it's worth shit. Another perfect site to go to, and I only do this because I got to log out of my email, is Yahoo News. It always goes to the landing page. Holy cow, is that the modern day checkout aisle to the grocery store? That is worthless lies. I've never seen such worthless shit in my life. Now you can almost see what's on Yahoo News and know it's a lie and take the opposite to be true. Anyway, so I was pointing out, he's a friend. Never met him, but I keep meaning to go out and visit him, and I just don't have the time. I said, dude, your life is too short for this. Your health, your mental sanity, your happiness is too important for this. Why are you going to read this idiot child's article about Megan Rapinoe's pink hair? And I don't have to read through the article. Why? Do you need to look in the abyss all the time? Let me paint a parallel for you. Kids are getting raped all the time, right? Africa, Middle East, slave trade, shit. Like really bad shit happens to people getting murdered all the time. Bad shit happens. Do you want to focus on it all the time? Do you want to you're going to burn out trying to worry about every horrific injustice, every evil that happens in this world. The human mind you'll kill yourself. You're looking to the biz. You won't be able to survive. And it's the same thing with American media now, news media. It's not news. How many articles of this might have been racist? Oh my gosh, look over here. Oh my God. How long did we have to hear about Russia? Then it was COVID. Now the news media are coming. They can't wait to rush anything that might possibly be construed, construed as racist, up on the main thing. There were some guys that said they're going to lynch a black guy. I'm like, really? Now, maybe it's true. That might have actually happened. Hasn't made the front page. I would have seen it otherwise. Someone would have sent it to me. Was that just a little flash of little clickbait? The NASCAR guy who's half white, half black said there was a noose. Oh, there's a noose. I'm like, I mean, again, I don't watch the news. I use common sense. I use data if I'm ever going to look at economics. Really, someone today put a noose in a NASCAR, and it turns out it was just a way to hold it was just a rope to pull the garage thing down. Even if that's not, I don't care. I don't care because I'm not looking into the abyss. I'm not getting pissed off. I'm not going online every day to my Facebook feed to see what fucking bullshit has happened in the world and may not have happened because a bunch of worthless fucking journalism majors who can't find jobs and desperately need to get the clickbait so they might get some modicum amount of money so they can avoid working a real job in the real world decide to spin it as to make it saucy, to make it sexy. No matter how much that destroys the country, destroys sex relations, destroys race relations, destroys the economy, and undermine, or just makes people miserable. Yeah, because that's what we need, American journalists. With this COVID fucking bullshit, we need you to fan the flames of race and racial division or hatred or problems or whatever else. Yeah, that's not enough. And here's another. Race relations are way more fucking important than Megan Rapinoe's hair color. I'll grant you that. I'll grant you that. Okay. So, and here's the thing, guys and gals. The amount of stupid shit that is going to be written on these unlimited number of no-name websites or irrelevant websites is unlimited. Unlimited. And as the market is flooded with more and more worthless people who don't want to work for a living and think they can make it as a blogger or a journalist or whatever, they're going to get more saucy. They're going to put more spin. They're going to lie basically just to make the headline sound good. So you click on it. And if you actually click to the link, to the link to the actual study, you found out they totally lied. That's not what the study said. That's not what happened. This isn't what these people did. And all you did was waste your time and get pissed off and shorten your life expectancy with stress. All you did was raise your cortisol levels. So to make my point, I looked up the person who wrote this. I'm not going to call her a journalist or an author. That is too good for her. I'm going to put this here. Type that in. Her name is Nicola Dahl _Assen. And if you want to just do an image search of her, you'll find out she's not a human. She's an NPC. She's utterly predictable. Wow, another fat millennial journalist is going to save the world as a feminist. I mean, again, about as exciting and common as this penny. Well, at least this penny has some value. And also, again, this isn't the universal measure of whether you have influence or not. But if you look at how many Twitter followers she has, I think she has 400. Whereas I, an idiot who never intended to be a journalism person, I have, I think, 11,000 Twitter followers. Again, I'm not saying, oh, look at Mike, because there's people who got way more Twitter followers than me. I'm just saying, I'm not a journalist. I'm a nobody. I'm just an idiot on the internet yelling here. And I got more followers and I have more influence with my fucking blog. Allure, which again, one time was a real publication, I believe, and does have a corporate backer, has less influence than me. I think Better Bachelor was talking. He pointed out some math. He had more views in one of his videos than a Netflix thing had views. And he's like, you know, you guys are like, I can't believe Netflix is coming out with this Marxist leftist bullshit. Who watches? It's unlimited bandwidth, unlimited data. Who's going to watch it? The latest Star Trek crippled affirmative actionville or whatever the hell it's called. Oh, it's #1 streaming at this time slot on a Tuesday if you watch with your right eye only. It's not. That's their news. And there's unlimited number of unemployable idiots who are going to come out and say. In other words, the media, now that the internet is infinite and the number of idiots who want to voice their political opinion or advance an agenda or just avoid work and think they're going to make it, but are too lazy to work on, actually go be a girl like on Friends Only. They're flooding it with so much worthless shit and spun shit and propaganda and a narrative and an agenda. And there's so many of them. And they have this incentive to make it sexy. So maybe they get it. It's like Hollywood. Everyone's throwing themselves on this metaphorical digital casting couch that there's no value in the news anymore. This isn't like a bunch of old school 1950s journalists like TJ Martinell getting the facts, getting the scoop and blowing wide open I don't know, a drug ring or the mafia or exposing a corrupt politician. This is basically a generation of millennials and Gen Zers who are little spoiled quantahahas who are crusaders and social justice. They're going to change the world because their teachers lied to them and told them that they're heroic and they're going to make change and there's bad stuff in the world, like people who work for a living and make a profit. That's all these people are, is a bunch of wannabe heroes who don't want to work hard, don't want to even be real journalists and do research. All they want to do is bitch and whine or write shit pieces of it. I mean, let's look her up. Nicola Dahl Hansen. Hang on. Do we even have to look up her background? Well, you think she's an engineer and writes on the side? You think she's a doctor or something? Her sign. Okay. All right. No. Let's get back to, okay. Here we go, LinkedIn. Let's do a quick security check. No, let's not. Please solve this puzzle so we know you're a real person. Touch the arrows and roll the ball. When the image is press done. Done. Good. 8.9 seconds. Okay. University of Missouri, Columbia. She's been writing for Allure for a year. She wrote for Rock U Media 2 years. And, associate editor, Greater New York City area, deputy editor, Brandon, blah, blah, blah. Senior editor, 6 months, Cafe Media, a year, editorial beauty assistant, beauty intern, editor, Hearst Magazine's digital media, 5 months, editorialist, editorialist, education, degree in journalism. Good for her. Let me ask my good friend who sent me this article. Is she unique? Tell me how she's different than the literally millions of other women and men just like her. You could finish her sentences. You all can finish her sentences. This is why, speaking of MSNBC, Microsoft replaced, I think they fired 80 editors because a computer can figure out which articles to pull from the internet and run on MSNBC or MSN. I mean, and you're going to waste your time. You're going to let this person upset you or miff you or slightly annoy you with stupidity. Let her go write her articles about Megan Rapinoe's hair. Let her go do it. I don't care. Our lives, everyone tuning in. Well, technically, everybody's lives on the planet is way too important for that bullshit. But especially the people tuning in here, we are a better class of people. We're more intelligent than those people. That's why we're independent thinkers here. And I'm not saying that to kiss your ass. I'm saying it's because it's true. Plus, I like to think we're a pretty cool club. But no, in all seriousness, you guys, my list, you cannot be letting, and I know we make fun of my friend letting an article about Megan Rapinoe's pink hair from Allure bother him. But how many of you people tune into CNN or you see something on the internet and it's all like, "Whoa, can you believe that?" You share it like, guys, turn it off, go run, go work out, go have a good time. But ignore that shit, man. Our lives are too fucking short. Okay? Yeah, if there's riots coming towards your neighborhood, you might want to know about that news. Is there a tornado on the way? Sure. Maybe some economic data. Keep tabs on what's going on economically. Joe Biden said this. Donald Trump said that. Oh, okay. Bye. Your life is way too effing short. So there you go. Let's get to the super chats, which there is surprisingly several this late at night. Miguel Angel Casillas, where are you, Miguel? Are you our fourth string Latino quarterback? I know we got Atham, he's the first, and then we got Juan. Are you 3 or 4? Miguel Angel Casillas for $5. This country really needs to get back to conscription and risking something for the privilege of having any say. Starship Troopers had it right. Earn your rights. Yeah, was it Heinlein? Oh God, that hurts. Why does my side hurt? Oh, I say sales tax. Flat sales tax, everybody pays it. Then you can vote because everyone pays it. And it'll be around. If we'd had all state, federal, and local taxes condensed under one sales tax, it'd be about 38%. Well, with Trump, more like 42% because of all the money he printed. Oh, but we could just print off more money. M2PG4 for $10. Thanks, M2PG4. I accidentally refunded 5 super chat from 2 weeks ago. Here's 5 for that time and 5 for you reading this one. My bad, man. Dude, I've gotten some. You guys are real moral with your super chats. One guy, he said, I meant to donate 20, but I only donated 10. I felt real bad. And it, like here's 20 more. It's like, guys, thank you, but you don't have to always, 5 is fine, but donate more if you want to donate more. I'm not going to. David Frost for $5. Why do my peers act like victims all the time? Why are they your peers? I mean, you mean your generation? You don't control what you throw into your generation. Your peers, you get to choose somewhat. What happens to rich kids and jocks after high school? I'm a loner who only cares about adulthood. It depends. Well, the jocks, at least in my experience, they end up doing well because sports does train you to have a work ethic. Not all of them, but most of the jocks I knew ended up not failing because they worked out. They had a work ethic. I wish maybe I was pushed a little bit more to go into sports, but I just hated school so much. Like, what? Go back to the fucking prison? Wait. Let me get this back. So I ride the big block of yellow cheese for an hour back to home. Then you drive me back to the fucking prison where I go hang. No, oh no, fuck no. I'm not going back there. So the jocks at least did okay. The rich kids, they usually get divorced. Depends on how much money they got. I mean, anything can happen. They're really not that rich. The parents just borrowed all the money. That's been the more common one I saw. So when dad inevitably can't keep it up, I think this happened twice in Minnesota, but I know it once for sure. But over by the Wayzata, this one guy was Mr. House of Cards, borrowing money, making it, and then he didn't get the contract, or his empire fell apart, and he killed his entire family and himself. Because that makes sense. Like, just kill yourself. Leave your family you live. I don't know why he killed his whole family, but he did. And I think that also happened before. That's a little bit more extreme and rare, thankfully. But the facade ends. More commonly is parents will get divorced. And there may be money, but the kids are fucked up. Rich kids are already pretty much fucked up to begin with. It is possible to become a good, well-anchored rich kid if your parents raised you right. And I had a good friend, Dave. He was like that. His parents were rich, but they brought him up right. So it is possible. But for the most part, you're already spoiled. You're already protected and shielded from the real world. You never mature. You never grow as a man or a woman. You value things based on brand name and petty status and prestige bullshit. But usually a lot of times the parents get divorced and that fucks them up. So they may have money, but they're dicks. And then depending on how much money, now if you got Mark Dayton money, you could just have generation after generation of parasite, loser, doped up kids who never do anything, or a Kennedy or a Bush, to be intellectually honest. And so then they usually run for office, and they're most insufferable dumb people ever. They never work a job in their life, but they'll, at least, was it the Buddha? He was the son of a king, and then he forced himself into poverty. At least he did that. You'll never see a Mark Dayton or a trust fund person do that. You never see a rich kid do that. So if there's plenty of money, they just continue being spoiled little arrogant fucks, imminently punchable, which you shouldn't do because that's illegal. Sometimes, though, they run out of the money, and then there's like, they hit a financial wall. There's the wall for ladies, but there's the financial wall for kids whose parents aren't quite that rich. Or the parents cut them off. They're like, we're sick of you. We know we didn't raise you for shit because we were lazy fucking parents. But now we've had enough. You gotta go. Without our guidance, you should have just figured out how to be an adult. And those rich kids then they're either eternally pissed off or they actually grow up. But I haven't really seen that. But usually there's enough money to go around that the kids never grow the fuck up. But they're fucked up because they're rich and they never worked. And their parents always usually get divorced, or at least their parents hate each other. So, King D for $5. So 35 doing okay. Do I start the homestead or go out and travel for 5 years, trying to build a family? Okay, if not, how bad can isolation be? Go travel. You gotta go because you don't know where to set up your homestead. You gotta go travel. How many times have I pulled this book up today or this week? Here. I didn't write this book for shits and giggles, guys. Everyone go read this fucking book, Reconnaissance Man. Go travel first, then figure out where you want to buy a property. You might meet your wife. Woo! All right. You might meet your theoretical wife. Very theoretical. While you're traveling. But you need to go travel. You need to go figure out. And then you'll know you'll learn a lot about yourself, where you do and do not want to live, and all that. Trying to build a family, okay, if not, but how bad can isolation be? Isolation, if you're traveling, if it's all new, as long as you have novelty, you can be alone. But once you start going through that shit, it's not even that you're alone. I can be okay alone. You're just going to be bored. You're going to be like, oh, fuck. But no, traveling's great, especially if you haven't done it. You'll be like, oh, it's exciting. It's wonderful. It's like, I'm going to climb this mountain. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to ride my bike there. And it's like, oh, I've already been there. Like I told you guys that on that one podcast. We took off from Vegas. I knew exactly where we were the entire way until we went over Nebraska. And it's not because I lost, because Nebraska all looks the same. I lost because there was cloud cover, but I knew exactly where I was all the way from Vegas, across the Grand Escalante and the, Grand Canyon. I saw Moab, Rifle, Grand Junction. I even took pictures of friends' houses or neighborhoods because my detail on my camera's not that good. Hey, look, I'm above you. Oh, shit, you are. Yeah, you'll figure it all out. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, I've done this before. Is that it? Oh, whoa. No, that's not it. James Rankin for $2. Good cigar to pair with Johnny Walker Scotch. Cusano M1s. M1. It's a Macanudo knockoff. That's what they call it, the M1. Cusano M1s. Troy Kostelecki, late night stream with the Cap. Hey, Troy, shouldn't you be reading books to your kids, going to bed or something? Great pictures, by the way. I love the pictures of the fishing and everything. It's really nice. Very nice. I think Troy has like one of the three good gals that came off the assembly line in the past 3 decades. Decades is when, he's got a cute little kid. Like, look at that. Like a nuclear family. Hey, it's like Norman Rockwell painting. You're like, wow, that's a painting. I thought that happened in the real world. Fred Larson, $5. Cappy's top 3 Asian countries to visit next year for future minimalist early retirement. Enjoy the decline from over there in a decade or so. Yeah, I was talking about this with a buddy of mine, and I'm going to have to do a Southeast Asia tour. I'm going to have to do a Central Europe tour, including Russia, as a plan C. I do want to look at Singapore. I do want to look at Hong Kong. I do want to hit Malaysia. I want Jakarta too. So Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Indonesia. I have no desire to go to Australia. No desire to go to New Zealand, Thailand, Laos, maybe Cambodia, if it's safe to travel there. Philippines. I want to see the Philippines. Matt Tran swears by it, and I'm just going to find a place like, okay. And I'm going to send out an offer to Better Bachelor, have him on the air and interview him because he has done a ton of traveling. And him and Matt Forney, not on the same show, but I want to get their wisdom and what they recommend as a good starting point. And then I'm going to go to Central Europe, and it may even be this winter. It may be this winter that I go to Southeast Asia because I'm going to have to spend at least 4 months out there. My top 3, probably Thailand, South Korea, and Singapore. Those would be the top 3. I don't know what was South Korea. A buddy of mine explained it to me. He says it's like American 1950s with 2057 technology. I'm like, tell me more. Okay. I mean, I'd never be accepted in the culture, but I just want a nice stable place where the electricity works. Sorry, my throat's going. Hey, buddy Atham. Hey, Atham. Oh, I'm in GSR in Reno. What's GSR? But Rollaware is nowhere to be found. Guess my SM value is not high enough. BioWay, Clary, HMV. Oh, I see. I thought you were making my value. Aha. That's funny, Atham. That's funny. Hey, why don't you go in California and pay some more taxes? Why don't you go live over there? Why don't you go pay some more in taxes? Yeah, Gap says Vietnam is good. I don't know if I want to go to a communist country. Not that it's not communist in practice. It's reasonably capitalistic. And who knows? Maybe the communist government at least keeps things stable. You know, I say, okay, you're all freed up. You can go do your things, but you're voting for us. You're voting for, quote, the Communist Party. I don't know. I guess if I'm out there, I'll stop by and take a look. David Frost, high school equals BS. Yep. High school is BS. I can't tell you about that project. Yeah, Atham, I know you're in Nevada, but you live in California, so go pay some damn taxes. I got a project coming up with high school. It won't work. I just want to point it out so that I'll make money on it, and it will save, in theory, a couple thousand kids, but it ain't going to change anything. By the way, did I tell you how to make education? I found out a way to make education free. Yeah. How many government officials from different countries are knocking on my door for consultation on how to make education free? It wouldn't cost the taxpayer a dime. Matter of fact, it would save the taxpayer trillions of dollars. But we don't need a blah, blah, blah. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.